Hello and happiest of days to each of you folks. Hope you guys are having an absolutely amazing day today. One of the best you've ever had in your entire life. For you folks, so today I'm doing my next Let's Play in Fantasyland for Planet Coaster 2. They just released a Sorcery pack a couple of weeks ago, and that sort of a thing too, that has it's the first sort of a fantasy themed DLC in any of the coasters from any of the recent stuff, or even get things going back to like Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, right, or stuff like Parkitect. So I really enjoyed this. Typically, after I start with this, after I finish my stuff, I typically will just after like career modes and that sort of thing too. I typically will just go ahead and do stuff like Fantasyland. And this is a sandbox mode with the economy turned on into a larger park with 12 sub-parks. And the first one we're seeing here right now, and this is the fairy tale storybook themed section for kids and that sort of thing too. Alright, so we were having some issues with our finances early on because I tried to make it a little harder. I only start with like 10,000 cash, and all the stuff's at 100%. Right now, that's sort of the thing too. In order to generate that money, we built the merry-go-round and the teacups here. And then over here on the next episode, we built this roller coaster Sky Sailor, and then we also built a chair swing back here. And then once we just decorated, and then we built this theater here, and a flying theater that was added in this DLC, the Sorcery pack. And then we built the big wheel here, and then last time we built this this roller coaster for you folks. It's called Splintering. It's a wooden coaster of all age. I took out loans for most of that stuff except for the first day, and that sort of thing too. And so what I did in the last couple of times is I've given it some time to get money cooked in and that sort of a thing too. But typically all of my days have been doing things and that sort of thing too have actually been during day. So here we're at night on day 4, the same day that I finished earlier, and that sort of thing. Took about 4,000 in the bank. So I actually did spend about 2,500 on stuff too, just as a heads prior to this. So let's take a quick look around just to show you. Alright, so the first thing that I did was I built a ticket booth. I built a photo booth here for Sky Sailor, which is a junior coaster. And so you can check it out here. You can see the photos here too, and how much we're making from them. Here at Sky Sailor. Prices here. We have a ride photo at $7.50. And then I've also built here too. The photo proper it's only a good one. I couldn't get a better one, sorry. So that is generating some income right there at the entrance to the park at Sky Sailor, the junior coaster. I also built one here too for over here. Which we this was in the game. It's called Splinter, but I renamed it to Giant Splinter. And you can check that out too here. This one actually is a great photo. It's actually the best photo. You can see how highly rated, right? That sort of thing is. Let me see how much. If it's still also $7.50. The editing, so yeah, sorry. All right. So I also built that too. Both of those about 500, a little more. And then I also moved that roller coaster over from where it had been originally after we started to get that money, and I built up that power infrastructure too. Also, I talked previously about how many of the people here were asking for a place to do some shopping in, right, and that sort of thing too. So I built up this just a memento booth, right, shop right here too, for people to buy like hors d'oeuvres, right, and souvenirs, right, and that sort of thing too. And here, I'm just show what that looks like too. Here, I changed its name to Fairy Gifts. And it is here. You can see what kind of stuff it's on. Too. Key rings. You can see them here. Plus plushes. I think there's also some stuffies here too. T-shirts too. Yeah, I think there's also some teddy bears and that sort of thing. Hoodies. And that's it. I know you have to buy them yourself. Sorry. I tell somebody else with them. And so that's also generating for us some cash. But again, it has a bigger price on it. And the other 500 or so that was spent was for all of the decorations that you see. You know, initially we had done a few of these fairy tale themed lamps that are here at the front, and I just put a whole bunch more since we were doing this, and I thought it'd be nice to get this park all nice and bright too. And then over here, if you'll recall, I was going to put a bunch of like benches, right, and bins over here by our coaster, which I wasn't able to afford previously for you folks. All right, so now I got 4K. So I actually have a couple of options right now. But I don't have that much up because it's only a few hours later in game time, but like half an hour later after building an actual play. All right, so I have a couple of options right now. One is to build a flat route for you folks, and we could totally do that, or another coaster if we wanted to. Because with that 4,000, I also have some cash. Some cash, some research to do to unlock some stuff. Now, one of the weird things that's in Planet Coaster, here I'll show you, is that there, if I were to build a coaster, which is typically what brings people to the theme parks, but the flat rides are what they typically will run. Right? So let's take a look at the coaster right now that I've unlocked. So if I just do the coasters, I got 30 of these. That's a lot of coasters, right? So you can see that. But then flat rides, how many flat rides do we have already? Not that many. Like, if you take a look, those are the customs. Those are blueprints. But if I just take 20, not one. That's actually not that many flat rides, right? And that's everything too. So we're not bringing in flat rides. Now there are some flat rides that would make sense here, even though they probably wouldn't bring me in a lot of cash here too, like the bumper cars here, or the this spiral, the spiral slide too. It also makes sense too. They probably wouldn't bring me lots of money, but you get the idea. I can do both of them. And that would make sense too for this area, and then I can move on to the next section of the park, or just more roller coasters later. That's totally possible too. All right, so, but one right, I can also put this in. This one also would make sense here too, in the front area. This spinner, tiny, not great excitement, but maybe you get the idea too. But one of the things I was trying to get, but then the other one would just be to start to pay down this debt, right? Because all the things I built, except for the first thing, all have taken out loans for them, right? So here, let's take a look at this debt that we have here, and it is the loans section of things. We'll take a quick look and see. All right, so you can see my current loan amount right there too is about 3,180, right? And that's after I took out 16,000 last time for the loans earlier today on this Let's Play. All right, so you can check that out too. But you know, paying off that kind of debt would also help too, to get us into a better place, right? And you can see that. So flat runs or just that sort of thing. Now, one of the things I looked up weirdly for you folks is to take a look and see what are some great old ages flat runs that I can put up here front and start to make money from too. And that's one of the reasons why I built things out there here too. That would make sense for that flavoring too. Here, let me show you one of the flat rides we were talking about earlier. This is the Resurgence. It's actually a town. It's actually pretty expensive too. It actually takes pretty much no space on the battlefield too. But you can see it's got great excitement, great fear, but also high nausea too. But I looked it up. It's actually it is considered an all ages ride. Now I could definitely theme it very fall would be a it makes sense. But it definitely brings in that cash. Now actually, if you're blue would make a whole ton of cash too, right here too. At the end, because it's got 2 greens with excitement and fear, and then but then a high nausea, but it's actually not in all ages, right? Right? You can see that stuff happening for you folks. Right here, let me also show you my other rides that we've unlocked too. Now, again, the pools and the flumes and the water coasters would be for the next section over. Let's just say it. But here, let's take a look at track rides, which we have. Let's see here, we got create custom. A few, I think 4. Yeah, 5 actually. Sorry. And that's not bad. You got the bus ride, the transport ride, a log flim, and then a bunch of other cars and that sort of thing too. And then that we could also just do over here and that sort of thing too. So let's take a look first here and see if there's something here that just definitely calls out to me, right? On after. Now, a couple things that I was trying to track down, if you'll recall, in the research tree, we're here in the coaster side of things. Something here you can see here, it's in the special coasters section. 4 is right here for you folks. And you can see here, it's got a couple of great things for the early section, if anybody wants to. The Wild Mouse coaster, spinning mouse, and then also spinning coaster. Again, more coasters. Sorry. So, but we have to unlock a lot for that. The launch coasters here, and then a couple of the water coasters and the wing coasters, and it's like 9,400, so that would be a lot to get to them. Here, but I couldn't unlock that today with that 6,300. Unlock those 2 coasters, right? And get them done all up and down. I'm not sure that they're good for the section. Water coasters too. Just getting it done just because I had to. Alrighty, or we can get back to the fly rides section of the stuff, right? And here you can knock out some stuff like that. So here I was also trying to get to a Sunflare. Sunflare is an absolute powerhouse in the early section. Makes a lot of money, has lots of folks. It's totally nice, right? Right, and it's, I think it's down here in Tower Fly Rides. It is. So that would be 6,300, 7,200, and then 7,200. Right, so we would be very close to that. Let me see if I can actually do that right now, because that would be the obvious place to go. Let me do some quick math in my head. I've got 16,000. I'm just going to pull up the calculator real quick on the map on my phone, because that makes sense. Ready for you folks, and that would be would make some sense for you if we did that. Typically I used to use the one on the machine, Beacon Launch machine on my PC that we're playing, because it's easier to see what's happening, less harder for my likeness to mess with the topics and that sort of thing too. Let me see if I used to use it lots when I was at work. Here it is. 6,300 plus 72 plus 72. No, that's 20,700. So I get there all the way there. So let's take a look and see what I got. If you recall, last time we actually unlocked another flat rod, which is actually, we also had the twister that we talked about previously. Here, a twig look here. And so here, if you take a look, you can see this one over here. Over here on the right, that one is, I'm sorry, on the left rather, that is actually good for stuff like that. Right, that actually had that in Camden Park, which is nearby, right? And in Park and that sort of a thing too. And we also had one back when I was at Baltimore going a 2-hour 6 weeks. So it's got a lot of stuff too, right? It's a very, very common thing too. It's right over there. So, but I could get this, right? At 6,300 to get me close to this stuff. I don't think those are going to be here. But they'll be a flat rides might get us there. What's some new stuff too? Let me see a quick look there. Yeah, well, let's do that. I think we want to rebuild some of those. Alright, so let's do those. Get some of those flat rides here. I know that there aren't as many flat rides in the games are. It's a sad thing. But you get the idea. Alright, so let's research these real quick. Then what over here do? It's over 200. Yep, good. Got about another 3,300. Is there anything else I can get? Like a lot, like last time, we got a transport ride too for the bus, or maybe right there or a track ride. There's that first track ride is great because it gives you go-karts. That would make sense, but go-karts are going to be probably more for my urban fantasy section. But then, wait, that would be interesting. Transport though. Yeah, that's not bad. We could grab the cable car. Let's just plan. Yeah, let's do it. The cable cars are much better transport than the other old stuff that we have already had unlocked. So let's grab plan. I'm gonna exhaust all of our research stuff. Now I could also, as a minor, grab flames, and get some good stuff here too. But again, that'll be in advance or pools and that sort of thing too. So that'll be there. Let's just go ahead and head on out here. So the next thing I want to do after that is take a look at my flat rides that I just unlocked and see what I got there for you folks. Maybe. Or I can just do bumper rides. Yeah, bumper cars to bumper rides. I know also bumper rides to is out there too. And then the spiral too. We could do both of them for about 4,000. One's 3,000, the other 720. Flat lights, you know, nice. Let's take a look at some of the things that I just unlocked. So I just unlocked here the radius, but it's about 4,600, so I wouldn't be able to build it today. And it doesn't actually have that many people there either. For the, it's got a low excitement too, which feels a little on the weird there. So I just what about this one over here? Star Wheel. It's about 3,200. I could definitely build it too, and then the excitement's there with a twist, you know, with hidden tracks and that sort of thing too. It's definitely a better roller coaster. Sorry, but it's Ferris wheel style thing that we've already got. You know, and the big wheel that we have here, right? If you'll take a quick look here, also probably doesn't have much excitement. So we could heavily theme that too. To a star. I'll show you. Sorry, that's all teacup, sorry about that. Pumps it. What I want to show you though is how much of it's only 2.0. Excitement, not exactly the most exciting thing in the world, but what makes it good is because you get so many people up and down there, right? That's why it's good. All right, but let me take a close look over here to see what 2.0. What was it again over here too? For this wheel. Sorry, flat rides. Star wheel, and that's 2.5. That's not much, and it's not that bad. Price out at 3,270. One of the things I actually could do is I could buy that, and then also the flyer, the coaster, dude, not the coaster, this too, because it's like $7. Helter Skelter, which won't get you that much penny, and it's not going to make you that much stuff, but you can definitely put it here by the entrance and absorb some bodies too. Wait. At 3,200. So that would make sense. So but let's definitely do a flat ride right here instead of another coaster. I think there was something else I was wanting to do about $500 or so too. In addition to that, I'll take a look at that later. All right, but yeah, let's look at that. I definitely think that would make sense for this section of the park, right? And get that stuff in. All right. Yep. Actually, with a 3 nausea, is the star wheel? Hold on, let me just do a quick check to see if that actually is a. I'm sorry, is that an all with that kind of a nausea? Maybe not. Hold on a second. It's called a star. Just typing this in my phone too. It is all ages. Yep, it is all ages. All right, so it's great. That's good, and that might actually be a pretty good thing. All right, so let me take a look. And it's also something I don't have to take a loan out for, which is great. So the first thing I'm going to do here is to take a look and see. Some great places for. I do like it here. If you recall, here I was saving for a transport to get us a little deeper in the park. Yeah, let's do it here. Star wheel. It's a little bigger than this ride over here was, which is also called the big wheel. It's really fun. So I was thinking like here, might make sense, but that's probably going to be a little on the big side. Let me just take a look and see, make sure that we're not doing anything bad with that placement. Remember, we need to have a queue big enough to have people, but not so big that it's sucking up people, so we're not making money from. So let me just take a quick look here. And this would, right, so highly, so you probably want to push it back maybe a little bit here from folks away from the ride. That kind of wouldn't be a bad place, right? Because that'll give you some space for exits and entrances, right? Or I could just do the entrance here on the front side of it here. Sorry, you can't see that. Here on the front side. I was pointing rather than the side. Sorry about that. I did that once before, and I was like, I'm in the task review. I just really had that in the wrong place. Right, but here is something else I get. Or, you know, Alright, so let me really fast for you folks. I know I didn't do anything, but I don't want to accidentally misplace this and scrub stuff. I know you can just move it like I did with the coaster, but you know, I don't want to accidentally break a bunch of roads or something. Okay. And then we'll ride it after building it up. Oh yeah, I remember what I wanted to build with that. I want to build another, since I might be I need to get some more research done as fast as possible, build another research space too. Actually, let's build that now, I'm thinking about it. See how much that is? It's called workshop. It's here. That's a place for them to rest. This is the workshop. It's 4:26. Yeah, I can do that right now. I'm thinking about it. Yep. It's good. Good to go. And then head down here. You will need to open it. That's just a heads up. When you open it, you'll automatically hire a mechanic door. So you don't worry about that. Yeah. See, auto hired one's open. Alright. Yeah, that works. Now back over. And now it's the place of the big, the coast. I'm sorry, the big Ferris the flood. The stars. Ideally, I can do something here. So you want to have a long enough queue to get people in, but not so long that they're just waiting around for your rather than, paying for it and then other stuff too. So that's something you want to be watching for. Alright, but let's go ahead and place this thing and get everything taken care of for you folks. All up and down the block. That's not bad. Is it near the front right there? It's a little. I could probably put everything over there on the side. Its exit and that sort of thing too. That's probably nice. Also because it's right by the coaster, I can definitely add to that sort of thing to their excitement too. Just by being close to each other. Just trying to put it somewhere like up here near the front wouldn't be the worst thing. I could put it over here too if I want. Just by that one. I feel that would be a little weird to have too many Ferris wheels that go together. Right? Yeah. Let's try it here. Set up in the sky or anything weird like that. Nope, it's good. Right there. That's good. And so we're gonna put the queue here. So it's going through the coaster. I think that's great. Right there is probably good. And then the exit put over here to the side. Because I don't want to be too long. There we go. Now let's build that up. And then we will start up before I do that. I want to just make this closed to testing. We'll name it from Star Wheel to, let me think, what would be a good name? Star Wheel or something like that. The emphasis on the wheel might work. We already did Rumpelstiltskin's wheel, which is in the storybook and shit all around. So, or I can just focus on the star part. That's what I was going to do. I'll fix that. actually, Fairy Star's probably better. I was gonna go down that road. That's Fairy Star. Let's try that. I'll take a look. You know, in the meantime, let's go ahead and get that placed and all that stuff too. While I'm testing, oh, that's way output. I gotta do that 2 ones before by not hitting the button to close. We can also do this just automatically to get it connected to before you focus on this is the queue, and the queue over here needs to be, you know, what we're looking for. This section. So we're changing that customize style. We're here. We're here. I think it's this middle one, rustic one. Yeah, rustic queue. Again, I could bend it around or something like that. If I get bigger, I'll get a bigger cube, right? But that's good for now. Yes. Then over here, we're going to do this one is not this one, although that's not the worst in the world for this area, but it's actually just the Jesse Museum. Right, maybe a little straighter. It's not. There we go. Alrighty. And now before I start to lose that money and I forget to, we also want to add some stuff there too, like benches and bins. So everything here, again, tries to be like I mentioned before, on the fairy kit themes, right? and get stuff. And storybooks and that sort of thing too, right? And so let's just do a quick little scenery here. Bins. Right here. Village bins are great here. That probably works. Well, I want to be the edge. That's good. And over here too. And then a couple of benches. It's the hard. That's happening. Alright, so the next thing I want to do after that is just to change these colors around a little bit to make them match with my things. Now, because this is more of a kids section, we want to emphasize like hot pink, like the Barbie stuff, as well as blue for the boys. Right? So I actually have saved these over here, so you can take a look here. And over here, over here at the garden swing, which is the chair swing. I'm just or chair plane, whatever you consider it. So we're just going to go over here to the customize section, and then we're going to pull up that paint here, which is a special paint. Just and then we're going to copy that and paste it over here. And then also the blue too. Is that all of it? I think we copy it a few times. Alright, I'll head over here. To the store. There we go. Have fun. So we're going to be changing up these reds into pinks. And then those oranges into blues. And then sometimes I might do a white or something like that too. Or a lighter pink, like this one, or that one over here. It's called fairy tale. Right now that that's there, it's saved. So I can just go and do that for all these other places. Probably here too. That might just be, I might want to keep that the blue side of the things. And so I'll make that front one blue over here though, definitely. As you can see here, I can just go and click on it. Very nice and fast for you folks. And then over here too, in the second frame, fourth frame. And then also over here, let's pull that into the fairy tale side of things from a lighter pink. See how that looks too. Which is more of a light purple too, I guess you might call it. Now let's pull the other one. Actually, I think that one probably wants to be pink too. The third carriage, middle of the road. Now the rest are going to be blues. So I was using royal blue. Here too. I did not come up, sorry. Alright, that's the carriage for us. And then let's try the frame areas for you folks, just to make sure everything's good to go. That one more of a darker blue, if I remember correctly, for the frame probably. And I think we actually have a dark blue here. Dark blue. Dark blue. Is that a little too dark? I'll take a look at it just a second. Yeah, it might be. Let me try it again. With this out. It's not the worst thing in the world. Let me take a quick look. Actually, let's also change this to the regular blue that I was changing it to too, just to see what that looks like together. That'll be royal blue. That's what this looks like together. Yeah, that's not bad. Is that the section right there though? In the middle that I just changed? Let me just pull it. Because that center one might want to pull it out and make it a little lighter. This the one here? Hold on a second. Yeah. Ooh, that. Ooh. That definitely shows up. No. Yeah, it was the center one that I just changed. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. All right, and then we'll head down here and finish this right out. Royal blue. And then I'll light up over here. I'll probably on the other side. Argentinian blue sounds like maybe a good color. It's a little too bright, I think. Maybe a little too Carolina blue. That's fine. Let me pull out and see what that looks like. Yeah, that's not bad. Let's keep it. Alrighty. How much time do we have left? Here's a quick check. I actually have my timer going. And that sort of thing too, just to make sure. Yeah, and it's got about another 19 minutes. So let me do a quick save here too, to get that stuff taken care of for you folks. And it'll be boring. Sorry, that happens. And other stuff too. Big wheel. It's actually the star wheel built. Alright. Now that stuff is done. Now the next thing I want to do while I still have some cash is to add a little decor to this place before I start to ride it. And then show you what it's like at night. It's pretty gorgeous, right? Alright, so let's head down here to the scenery section here. About 260. Which should be enough for what I want to do really fast for you folks. Here we're going to go to everything, all this. Here I just want to show you real quick. And then just a fairy stuff, which actually is a bunch of stuff. So I was hoping to get this spinning wheel in this section, or the first sections too, but it wasn't in before that one a couple of weeks ago, days ago. You guys, that's what you think I did. And then let me just take a look and see what that looks like here for you folks. For the decor, firefly jar looks pretty good actually. We got banners, we got tents. That we can do over here too. Yeah, because like I can definitely do right there. I can change that from the star wheel to other stuff right now. First, let me take a look and see if there's anything with the star name though. But before I do that, let's go ahead and draw this pavilion. It's about 40K, so you definitely want to do it while I have some money. I like an argument. That's nice. Actually, that's not what I was thinking about. That does look nice. Let me take a look and see if I can put that here. It's nice. I like it. So it's here. good there. For 100. And then right here, that's actually makes sense. Here you can show you what I was building. These canopies. Sorry, not pivoting. But you get the idea. But that was actually pretty nice. Alright, so let's come over here real quick. Let's toss a couple of these down too, because they're 40 rather. So I gotta toss them down here while I get the money. Actually, could I get the pavilion there? It's right under the coast or something, you know? I could probably only get this close to it, but let's just see. I can even get this area, right? I think I can with this one small. Sorry. Yeah. We'll just put this one there. That's fine. Also over here, put some of these entrance. I do like those. Also here because they have crowns too. They're also very teal themed too. Sorry, that's showing me gardens. I don't want everything. I want those. The tomb area aren't just for you folks. They're actually pretty cheap if I remember correctly. So they don't need to be a priority. Here at the entrance on the other side of things too. Let's do that. Drop it there. That's good. Alrighty. Now that's done. The next thing, I just want to check in and see if I've got any stars that I can put down there too, because it's the Earth. It's themed around stars, right? The star. So I'm looking for star here. We got a couple. Ooh, sorry about that. I just totally saw that. Yeah, we got a couple. That one, the star panel wouldn't be bad as a wall decoration. It's only $4 too. The bigger star to the air tune, or you know, that kind of star too, or that sun, which is not a star. But I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess our sun is a star technically. Wall pattern, wall decorations with the star panel. That's good. Is that a star sign for cowboys and Indians? I mean, Western people. Right? It is a Western people. And it's actually a sign too. That's not bad. I hope it does. But we'll have a weird wet section later on. Stars. What's this one called? Because it's got a sign. I just refreshed it. Just heads up. Just to see what it is. It is. Wall sign. It is actually called a wall sign stars. I'll come back. I might come back to that later. Once I got more time and that sort of a thing too, or maybe tonight. But yeah, let's take a look. Alright, so first let's just go ahead, because none of those are really that expensive, like $4 piece. And that's everything I do. So let's just go ahead and get this thing started for you folks. So we got about 10 minutes left. Alright. Let's ride this and then spend some time in this park after hours so you can see what it looks like before you feel crowded and just be building. staff member thing is obviously an issue that just pop up. We need to get that money in for those boosters. I'll come back to that in a second. There's somebody, let me see if we got somebody on the way here first on the staff side of things. I just hired about mechanics, so I should drop fair freight a little bit. They're pricey. Somebody's coming back from break. Somebody's on the way there. Good, so I don't need to worry about that. Hiring people. So we'll get there. Head back over here. And do some more of that. Just checking this out and get that sort of thing too. Check it out. Not exactly. Testing. We're already in practice. We'll just go ahead and put it in. Everybody else, they're up here. Got a nice little. No, let me take a look to see where we're at after that with our stuff. All of those parts. Excitedness. Testing. It's a 2.5 now. Also, this was in 6s. But let me see what this is showing up at with the I'm sorry, the roll is with this side here. 2. Remember, there was no initial thing that came with that blueprint, and the decorations on it. Let's have to go. Alright, before I have things go too faster, because I don't want to make sure I'm not accidentally screwing stuff up for all of that stuff. So I'll just check really fast to make sure that none of these are sure about ready and that needs somebody about to get fixed. 19 minutes here, 20 minutes here. We're good. Last splinter here. This one changes down to splinter. It is 30 minutes time. We're here tomorrow. Check here. That actually has just expired, so I definitely want to make sure that gets taken care of. That's done. You can see I just got told that here in the motions. So we want to call a mechanic here right now. Because you can see that thing drops as soon as that happens. Also, what about the teacups too? I don't know if I checked the wheel or not. How's it looking? It's at 35% minutes, and the only other one over here is this guy. So let's check it too. Yep. So now we're just doing that. Now we'll see it deteriorate a little bit while our stuff is coming there, and then it will never get back. So we have to be very, very sort of proactive with it, just as I do. Let's move the normal speed. So you see, we have speed. That looks like at night. Folks. Great stuff. Just zooming in on the intercurrent ride and see if it's getting taken care of right now, hopefully. Yeah, I see him come out now. Alright, so we are now open maintenance. It's not 30%. Alright, well, let me just check while I'm doing that over here on the power supply, which also might be an issue too. Because then once it goes down, it stays down. 21 minutes, but it's got 100 minutes. You also lose power too once it starts getting inspected. They're 20 minutes. I'll go and do this one. You can see how much it costs to refurbish it too, which will which will repair those issues. Alright, let's just check in over here. All these other things too. How are things looking? Alright, good. Alrighty for you folks. Alrighty, well, it's about that. And that's the other thing too. So we'll just go ahead and finish it out there for you folks. I want to thank you, for just taking some time out of your day and investing it and watching the videos. Right, it's very, very helpful for you folks. And then also you can watch a bunch of these other things too. We'll be doing some of this stuff here coming up soon for you folks. I do older video game reviews. I just did Planet Zoo review, which is also in this genre too, on Wednesday. Next time I'm going to be doing the Jurassic World 2, also by Frontier Studios 2, and then a couple of weeks ago I did Planet Coaster 2's review of its Sorcery pack too. And that's everything too. I definitely think you might enjoy that. So we're probably doing some more of these sort of tycoon style games that I have done coming up here soon that I really enjoy too. After that, so you can check out that stuff too. I also do reviews of older on Monday of older tabletop RPGs and video games. I'm sorry, RPGs and war games, not video games. And then on Saturday I do reviews of something I call Serial Saturday, of older movie serials and that sort of a thing too. And then the other 3 days a week I just do reviews of older things that you read too, right? All up and down the block. So if those things kind of sound like something you'd be interested in, then please, no pressure. But if that sounds like your kind of thing, great. Welcome to the channel. Do all the YouTube stuff. Alrighty. And there we go. I hope you enjoyed this again so very, very much. And thanks again. Have a great day.